Did you know that foreign investors are quietly funding lawsuits in American courts through a practice called third-party litigation funding? Shadowy overseas funders are paying to sue American companies in our courts, and they don't pay a dime in U.S. taxes if there is an award or settlement. They profit tax-free from our legal system, while U.S. companies are tied up in court, and American families pay the price, to the tune of $5,000 a year. But there is a solution. A new proposal before Congress would close this loophole and ensure these foreign investors pay taxes, just like the actual plaintiffs have to. It's a common-sense move that discourages frivolous and abusive lawsuits and redirects resources back into American jobs, innovation, and growth. Only President Trump and congressional Republicans can deliver this win for America and hold these foreign investors accountable. Contact your lawmakers today and demand they take a stand to end foreign-funded litigation abuse.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Last week we watched Signs.
Oh boy, this week we watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
The connection is Touchstone Productions.
Oh, that's great, but who framed the rabbit, though?
Some sort of stinker. Welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. My name is Zach. I am joined by Sandro, and today we're doing a touchstone, I would say, in cinema history, you know?
What? I guess. I mean...
A touchstone of cinema itself. You see, because the connection is Touchstone Productions, so really I just want to... Yeah.
Because every time we review a movie, it's going to be vaguely related to the last one that we did.
Exactly. That's how it works.
You went through the Touchstone, the production company.
Yeah, that was one of the options that our lovely Patreon picked.
Whoa.
Hey, Sandro.
Hello.
This was a movie. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I disagree. It wasn't a movie, Zach. You've already mentioned it before. It was a piece of film.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You're not a film bro.
In case you don't know, Zach is picking all the movies this month, but also Patreon are. But Zach is picking all of them as well because the options are his, and then Patreon votes on it. And because Zach's picking, we're doing the film bro movies.
Yeah,
no, we're not. This is just the one they picked.
I'm picking all the film bro movies. Next week it's Fight Club.
Oh, no. I mean, I'd watch it.
What are other film bro movies? I don't know. All I can think of is Fight Club.
Wings of Desire. We've done it.
Wings of Desire. That's a good one.
I mean, The Godfather.
Oh yeah, The Godfather. Yeah, no, that is one of the Godfather Part 2 is one of the options.
That's right.
Inception. That's got to be a film bro.
Any Nolan movie. That's like blockbuster film bro, though. Oh,
Tenet has to be a film bro movie,
Tenet.
right?
Ugh. Yeah, I guess it is. You're right. You're literally drinking wine right now. That's how much of a film bro you
I'm
are.
having a fine Pinot Noir for this evening. Because I came home and then after I poured myself a glass, remembered that we were recording the podcast.
And I'm drinking a Pepsi because I like to have drinks.
I think that's the two sides of the coins of a film bro. Is either like a Pepsi or a glass of wine.
Some wine. I think you're right, actually. Oh, dear. I'm trying to think if there's like a third one. I mean, no, drinking like IPAs, I feel like is a film bro thing as well.
Probably. Yeah, I'd say it's either like a soda or an alcoholic drink, you know? Those are the two film bro drinks.
You want to know what like the most annoying podcast would be? It is us talking about IPAs while also talking about movies for 2 hours. That'd be the worst one. That'd be the worst episode ever.
So what do you think about Bolter? Bolter is just...
I thought they were good until they got bought out by Asahi. And now I'm like, I don't really care anymore.
That's a fair call. Stone and Wood? What's your thoughts on Stone and Wood?
Classic. Great.
I love Stone and Wood.
Named after a Melbourne band, I think.
Yeah.
Rob likes. so they're good.
The problem for them, for me, is that they've gone really expensive.
Ah, right.
Like when I first started drinking them, they were $20. Now they're $28 for a sixer.
You know what? I feel like COVID ruined beer because now I can't
And
afford
this podcast.
the good ones.
Oh, that's true. Everybody got
Yeah.
on the beers.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to Oldie But a Goodie. This week we have watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I still don't know. I'm very
Sandro?
confused.
Who framed Roger Rabbit? Tell me.
I did. No, the cinematographer framed him.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's a good joke. Oh, that's so smart and intelligent.
Been sitting on that one for a week and a half. It would have been a week, but then we had to delay this episode by a couple days in terms of recording. So it's been a week and a half now.
That always happens.
Yeah.
Sandro, what did you think of this movie?
Oh, Zach, I tell you what.
What?
Move aside Space Jam and New Legacy. There's a new good animated live-action movie in town.
Whoa!
I have always wanted to watch this. Never have because I don't know why. I just never have.
Yep.
I think I thought it was great.
I know why.
Why?
I know why. It's because you
Why?
hate the tunes.
Oh.
Every time Sandro sees an option where I put the tunes, he's like, "Oh, I hate those tunes."
That's not true. I have a fucking massive box set of every Looney Tunes cartoon.
No, I remember
hate
every time I put them on, you're like, "Man, I hate those tunes."
That's right. Every time you come over to my house and put on Animaniacs, I'm like, get out of here.
Hey, hold up.
In my
Animaniacs, though.
They're great. I love them. How dare you, though? Stop doing that.
yeah. That's my bad.
No, I love this. I loved how it was like, I knew that it was a noir and I knew that it was played straight mostly, but I didn't realize how much it would be a straight noir. And I loved that. And I think it looked fantastic. And it was just very good. I just really enjoyed it. The whole time I was like, damn, I'm just really enjoying this.
Yeah.
Shame I gotta think about it and do a podcast, because this would have been great to just watch.
Being a reviewer ruins a movie because you have to psychoanalyze it. It's like, yes, but what was that shoe's motivation as he got melted, you know?
Exactly. What did you think of it?
This movie gave me a revelation, Sandro.
Oh boy, I hate it when that happens. What was this one?
Yes, the revelation was to do with slapstick. And why I have found slapstick not as entertaining.
Is it because I wanna make a prediction, because we did do Masters of Disguise 2 episodes ago, and in that one you said that was a live action cartoon and you didn't like that. Is it because the slapstick in this was cartoon, so you bought into it more?
No.
Okay.
No. Although that's a fair point to bring up, because I was going to bring that up later. But it was actually more on the lines, it was a self-revelation of what I don't like.
Okay.
And it's usually in slapstick, but not necessarily in slapstick, which is people getting injured.
Yeah.
I don't find people getting injured entertaining.
That's very, yes. Okay, for sure.
Yeah. Like that sort of comedy where it's like, haha, they got hit by a frying pan or whatever. Like, the injury bit by itself, I don't find that entertaining. I don't find it entertaining. I don't find it funny. I can find it entertaining, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't find it really funny.
Sometimes it can be funny, like a Mr.
Oh,
Bean.
yeah. Absolutely. But the thing is, I think I find the scenes with Mr. Bean when he's not, like, slapstick getting hit by things more funny than the scenes that he's getting hit by things, right?
Yeah, you know what? I agree with this, yeah.
More on the lines of, like, when he eats an oyster and it's, like, off, maybe. That's like, the level of hurt. Then it's, like,
Right.
there's an expectation and then a changing of the explanation. Like, when he's driving a car with a broom, he's not, like, when he's sitting on top of his car on an armchair strapped to his car, driving his car with a broom. That's funny to me.
Yeah, okay.
Not when he's hitting a broom and getting hurt. I realized that watching this movie. I realized it. It came to me in an epiphany.
Because you were like, I have had an epiphany. That was you watching the movie.
That was me. I said that out loud. How did you
Wow.
know? That's crazy, Sandro. No, but like I was just trying to figure it out because there's a lot of slapstick comedy that I've not liked, and I wasn't sure what it was. And then I realized during this that I do not like it. Like it does. I just don't find it funny.
Now, does that mean that you didn't enjoy this movie then?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to come around to.
No, nuts.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, I do have to say that this movie is actually probably the best movie we watched this year. Definitely, for sure. It was awesome. It was the best.
I'm going through. Yeah. I think Silence of the Lambs is like on par with
Piece
this,
of shit movie. Absolute dog shit. Remember when we were arguing about those movies, which one was better we watched that year? All of those were trash. This movie, best movie I've seen this year. Absolutely, hands down.
Fair. Yeah,
actually,
fair.
Silence of the Lambs was pretty good. But no. I did enjoy this a lot. I just, I can't resist the little bit, of course. But
yes.
No, this movie was really awesome. And it is funny that you bring up the point of like slapstick is very cartoonish in that sort of way. Where in this one, I thought it was actually quite funny because they have that whole bit of like the cartoons are the ones doing the slapstick and the humans are trying to avoid it because it will, hurt them.
Destroy them, yeah.
But then, minor spoiler, later on, there's a bit of like humans acting like cartoons to do the things, right? Like
That's true.
I found that funny. I was like, oh, hey, it's playing on that whole thing. I thought that was genius.
I feel like I don't particularly like people falling over slapstick either, to be honest. But I do enjoy like a good old Looney Tunes, and I think the reason is like I like when they're really well choreographed or like thought out. Like the opening, we're gonna do non-spoilers and then spoilers. I don't think I've said that yet, but the opening of this movie is just like a straight up cartoon.
Yeah.
Which is like a violent chase sequence or whatever. And that was amazing. 10 out of 10. If that was done in like a Rob Schneider movie, I'd be like, fuck this, I hate it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Because it's like with animation, it's like everything has to just, it's so on purpose, I think. Whereas, in like a Baby's Day Out, it's like, who cares, really?
Yeah. But more to the point for that one, it's like, I didn't find it funny. I found it entertaining, but I didn't find it funny. And it points that out in like other like scenes where they're in like a cinema watching like classic stuff like that. It's like everyone's laughing, but like I'm finding it entertaining, not funny. That being said, I still thoroughly enjoyed this movie and think it's the best movie we watched this year, only because I haven't seen Silence of the Lamb in the last 5 minutes. But
the last couple of bits. I think the reason might be because you're not American, and I think that maybe
they are very violent over there. They like their violence. Yeah,
that could be it.
Sandra says all Americans are just violent hillbillies.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. Especially the ones who listen to us, and especially the ones who subscribe to Patreon.
Whoa! Hell yeah, dude! USA.
Trying to think of like what's non-spoilery to talk about. I loved all of the cartoons was really good. I think they melded really well into everything. I like the character of Roger Rabbit. He's like Bugs Bunny mixed with Sylvester the cat mixed with like there's like a little bit of a Goofy in there as well. He's like a weird blend of everything where you're like, yeah, I believe that this guy was around at this time in cartoons.
Yeah. I think he's got like a bit of almost all the Looney Tunes characters sort of put in him.
Yeah.
As a sort of amalgamation to represent the tunes in general,
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting as well, and I do want to mention this now because I think it's one of the most it's a thing that everyone talks about with this movie is this one somehow, I don't know how they managed it. Obviously, it's made by Touchstone.
Yeah.
Which is the connection that you had to last week's movie, which is a Walt Disney production company owned by Walt Disney, which makes sense then as to why Donald Duck's in this. It makes sense as to why Mickey shows up.
Mickey's there. Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Sylvester's in it. He's in it for a scene.
But Zach,
Yeah.
he's from Warner Brothers, though. They're all from. So how the heck did they get the arch nemesis Walt Disney and
Oh, that's true.
Warner Bros. To make their characters appear together? A lot of money and a lot of lawyers, apparently. But
Wow.
yeah, it's impressive that they managed to get the rights to all of that and put it all in a movie. I don't think that the movie like needs it in it, but it's fun to have it there. Like this would have worked if it was just one or the other.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. And I think that's what makes this kind of like a once in a blue moon sort of movie.
Yeah.
Is when you can get all the references. You can get all the like big copyrighted characters into one movie. And
Not
not
anymore.
only
We're getting all those your Mickey Mouse horror movies now. He's in public domain.
That's true. I mean, yeah. But like you can get them all together and also have them in a good movie.
Oh, yes.
Because I feel like more and more as we watch movies on this podcast, I've come to the realization that like movies are like a lot of swinging and missing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's
Definitely.
so many missing, which is bizarre because you'd think like people would figure it out by now, but it's like people find ways to mess things up and other things. So people just keep putting out stuff, and then sometimes that hits, and then sometimes they're not, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And this is definitely like it's a huge swing. I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
it's incredible that they made this because it's set in the 40s. It's a straight noir.
Yeah.
You don't really have a big lead. Like Bob Hoskins is just kind of a guy. He's in a bunch of things. He's Mario, but like he's not a huge name.
But he's a great pick for the role because the whole point is he's just a guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's perfect. He's so good in this.
Yeah.
And it's like you know, you don't have any huge names here. You've got the director of Back to the Future. That's probably the biggest name that you can get in this one. I think Spielberg was involved somehow, but like it manages to be a huge hit. And it's like, how did this happen? Who? Yeah, no, it's good. I like that as well. Did you like the voice acting as well? We got some fun voice acting in there.
Oh, yeah.
Were you a fan of Jessica Rabbit? Famous character that everyone makes fun of and dresses up as now.
Yep. Famous, good-looking woman. Yeah.
It's interesting that it's like the movie is very much known for her design and not at all anything else from the movie. I feel like it's interesting that that's what stuck around in pop culture.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but has more to offer. But yeah.
Oh, definitely has more to offer, yeah.
But that's definitely like it's funny because they also have the other like black and white character that's like the sexy woman cartoon character.
Yeah, Betty Boop shows up for a bit. That was fun.
Yeah, Betty Boop, right? Yeah. So there's like a sort of nod to that sort of thing. But yeah, she's made to look sexy. And that's her kind of character thing. It's like, haha, she's sexy, but she likes Roger Rabbit, the rabbit, you know?
It's interesting because it's like, it's obviously, you know, it's a noir. So you know what's going to happen when she's introduced. And like, you know everything. So it's like...
Yeah, she's like leaned into that trope.
Yeah.
Which is very
It's not
funny.
her fault. She was drawn like that or something.
Oh, that was...
Classic. What a great line.
That was a very funny one. But I think they play it very well, even for the time. It did feel a little sleazy.
Yeah.
Just a little sleazy. But, like, it wasn't too bad. They could have been a lot worse, you know?
It's interesting because it's like, this is a movie that I feel like I always wanted to watch as a kid, and I get now why I didn't, and why I couldn't have.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely, and I'm talking like, you know, once you're like 14, I think you're fine. But, like, there's some stuff in here where I'm like, yeah, probably a good idea that I wasn't shown this when I was 7 and wanted to watch it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's actually not so bad for the younger audience. But it's definitely like a movie directed towards adults.
It is, yeah.
For cartoons, which is really interesting.
I don't think that as a kid you'd even really get a lot of it. You'd probably just be like, Yay!
No, well, that's the reason why I think it would be okay for a younger audience, is because you just wouldn't really understand what half the things is going on, and you just enjoy the silly cartoon stuff, right?
Yeah.
And which is rather it's like The Incredibles in the fact that they hide some adult jokes in there, except this is a movie that has been made for adults. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because, as you say, it's kind of just a straight noir.
Yeah.
And I think Jessica, she makes fun of the trope.
Yes.
Of that sort of thing. Well, but also leans into it a little bit, you know?
What's the term? I think it's the femme fatale. It she's kind of a self-aware version of that.
Yeah.
Then she also is just that. But I think that's also this whole movie. Is it makes fun of what it is, but it also is just that, which you wouldn't
it's
get
a weird
anymore.
juxtaposition,
If they made this nowadays, it would be too self-aware and kind of shit. I mean, it would be Space Jam 2, but a noir, which would be awful. But
it's plays it straight, but also makes jokes about itself.
Yeah.
But it doesn't point it out. It just makes the jokes, and that's, I think, the fine. It walks a fine tightrope, and that's another thing why I think this movie is like a once in a blue moon sort of movie where they can get that just right. Because we watched Master of Disguise, which is they tried to ride the tightrope of having a straight man story with a silly setting and just completely failed. It bombed super hard and it just doesn't work. Whereas this one does it perfectly.
Yeah. I think as well, there's some stuff in this that it's just the reason why stuff is happening, the bad guy's plan is one of the funniest jokes I think I've seen in a movie in a very long time. And just small stuff like that, it's you couldn't make that nowadays because no one would get it, I feel.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't. Imagine the Minecraft movie, but it's this. No one would see.
Awesome.
I mean, I'd watch that. That'd be great.
That sounds great.
These kids wouldn't go see it though, and it's
that's
all about
true.
kids now.
That's the problem with the Minecraft movie. It was made for kids, so you couldn't do this. But
but no, we should rate it and do some spoilerinos.
Absolutely. I think we've gushed enough about it.
What are you going to give it?
I'm definitely going to give it a goodie. I don't know. Is there a car Goodie? I don't know, some sort of award we can give this, because I feel like this is a pretty good movie, right?
I agree.
This is a good movie, and I've definitely, as you said, wanted to watch this for a long time. So I'm very glad we finally did it.
We could give it a Who Gave This a Goodie award.
Who gave this a Goodie award?
Yeah, how about that one?
I love that one.
Because it is better than a goodie for sure. But if we're doing that, I'm retrospectively also giving Silence of the Lambs the same award.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay, what did we give Silence of the Lambs?
We just all gave it goodies.
Yeah. That's fair.
No. I think great stuff. Definitely deserves the Better Than a Goodie award. We haven't done a Better Than a Goodie in a while. I feel so it's good to get one.
I feel like this is definitely a Better Than a Goodie.
Yeah. Through some quick taglines here. There's only 2, so, they better be good.
That's it.
Jeepers! Look who's returning to theaters like never before!
What?
I don't know.
Who is that referencing?
Well, I think it's meant to be Roger Rabbit, but it doesn't
Roger Rabbit.
He was created for this. Well,
that's what I thought,
book,
right?
But not for, but he's not he didn't do things before this.
Was it a Christopher Lloyd? Was it he's returning to film or something?
No, he never left.
That's what I thought, right?
Maybe it's the
I'll get a thumbs down. Thumbs down. Moving on. That one was a thing. The other one will be good, though.
It's the story of a man, a woman, and a rabbit in a triangle of trouble. fine.
Not the best. Not the best. Yeah. Apply yourself. I'll give that a shaky side thumb for that one.
I'm surprised there aren't more. I feel like there should be
well, this one's also 1988, you know?
Yeah, 88. What's the tagline? They were drawn that way. He was just drawn this way. Come up with a tagline. You can
Head down to Toontown.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who framed Roger Rabbit? We did. Just put that in
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that one.
Yeah.
A murder in the hand is worth 2 in the Toontown. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll need to work on that one. We'll work on that one.
I think we're going to need to workshop that one. Well, howdy there. I'm an American, but how did I come to be? Well, I was born in America. That's my origin story, but not everyone's origin story is that simple. And that's what the boys are exploring right now over at patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod, where they're reviewing X-Men Origins Wolverine, and they have some hot takes about it. The hottest take being that they didn't hate it, and I'm very confused because I like comic books and that makes me angry. Anyway, to get you angry, here's a clip. Also, Emma Frost is in this, which doesn't add up to... because she's in first class and she's an adult then.
Well, it could be a different mutant that turns to diamonds when they want to. I would say maybe when we get to Futures Past, it might be that is a different reality in that time, so Emma Frost could have been a different person. Yeah, right?
Maybe. Who knows, really? And the thing with the X-Men movies is the only canon that matters is the previous one.
Correct.
It's not the canon of the franchise matters. It's, do you remember what happened in the last one? Yes, that's all you need to remember.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not going to add up. Well, that sure sounds like a fun time. And you can go get that fun time at patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod, where you can get all the X-Men bonus episodes for money. I was going to say for free, but you can't do that. But what you can get for free is voting on the episodes that the boys are doing here on the main show. That's fun. Happening for another month and a half. Patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod. Also get ad-free episodes if you want as well. But yeah, X-Men Origins. That's a movie. I've run out of things to say, and there's a couple more seconds left of the... There it is. The ad's done. Patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod. I'm an American still, though. Yeehaw. More like, who asked for spoiler time, Zach? Because that's what we're doing now.
It was the audience.
Oh.
Oh my god. They're the murderers the whole time.
Wait, you can hear them?
Yeah, it's just like Dora. You just need to ask them a question, you know?
What are they saying right now?
They're saying, get on with it.
That's so creepy that you can talk to them. What if they're What if that one person right there is pooping?
Yeah, I can hear that. It's not great. Like,
God.
You know, you shouldn't listen to this podcast on the poop.
They need to eat more fiber.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's drowned out by all the traffic noises, you know? Most of it's just the sound of honking and traffic in the background.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and now they're getting arrested as well, so that's fun.
Well, you know, that's most of our friends. Most of the American ones.
Yeah. It's true. All right. So spoilers for Roger Rabbit. Look, I don't think we need to go through the plot because it's fairly popular, but, you know, we can do some quick things here and there. Basically, it's set in the... I had no idea that it was set in the 40s. When it started, I was like, oh, this is set then? I thought it was like would be set when it came out sort of thing. It was cool.
Yeah, because they referenced that everything's gone to color.
Yeah.
So it's around that time, because Betty Boo says that one. It's like ever since everything went to color sort of thing.
Which is like, I don't want to analyze this to the level that we did with robots, but like... We know that Betty Boop was in color cartoons.
Yeah.
Eventually. So does that mean that the actor that is Betty Boop was painted? Or does that mean that the actor who was Betty Boop was like replaced with a new one?
She got a paint job.
Oh, that's what happened there. I'm like, what is... Because all of these toons are aware that they're drawn. They're aware that they're cartoons.
Yes.
But like, what's the extent of that? You know?
That does bring up a fair point. It's like, how does a toon come to existence?
Yeah.
And my feeling is you have to have like an animator and they have to like draw. And I was wondering if they were going to bring that up, especially with the taxi, because the taxi takes some damage.
Yes.
Because he drives over some of the what was it called? The goop that can kill them? It was called drip or something.
The dip. Yeah.
That's right. He drives with the dip. So clearly his wheels must have been hurt in that. And I was wondering if they were going to have a scene where they had like an animator like redrawing the tires on him to fix him up. Because that's how I imagine that's how you would fix a tune. I don't know how you would get a tune to be alive.
I don't know.
Unless they can bang. I mean, sex is referenced a few times in this, so maybe they are sentient.
They definitely do it. And some of them do with humans as well, or at least kind of implied-ish.
Yes, but is that like a donkey and a horse situation where you get a mule? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to ask more information.
Do you know what a mule is?
No, I don't know.
Mule is a donkey-horse hybrid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean like a human. Well, that's what... Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Is that not what Christopher Lloyd was?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I was going to bring up. Is like, okay, they can bang, so they can have this thing.
Yeah.
But when it's donkeys and horses, the mule it can't breed. The mule is a like hybrid species and it can't breed. So I'm saying what I really wanted to bring up, Sandro, was that Christopher Lloyd's character couldn't fuck. Is what I'm saying.
That explains
and
why he was trying to ruin
so
LA.
Angry. Yeah, that's why he hates the tunes, because he just wanted to bang.
I just want to bring this up now. The fact that the whole movie is about how LA went to shit is so funny. The fact that they directly reference the fact that LA used to have trams and then they stopped having trams, which kind of ruined LA. And then also the whole movie's about building a it's so funny. The whole movie's about building a freeway. One of the best jokes. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It was. I did not expect that at all. I was like, "This is great."
I did think it was funny, but it's a shame they had to steal that plot line.
They stole the plot line. What do you mean?
Yeah, from Cars, the movie.
Oh my
God.
Oh, Zach.
Boom, boom.
That's a joke. Anyway, so, I don't know. Are they drawn? Because they're 2D.
Yes.
We know that they're 2D.
Well, I think they're 3D.
They're 2D-ish.
Ish, yeah. Because we always see them in a 2D plane. But, we see, the cars turn around, though, right?
Yeah. And, when they're walking around, they're, 3D.
Yeah.
But they're also 2D.
They can only be viewed in 2 dimensions, but they are 3D. But
they're not flat, because we know that they...
I certainly know she's not flat.
Bloody
Sorry, I had to make one joke. But that's why I bring it up, because at one point he bumps into her.
Yes.
And so that implies that there's a 3D plane for her to exist in, right?
But they look 2D, but they're 3D, but they look 2D.
They must be 3D, but they look 2D.
Which is, again, very clever animation. They hide it, they do it really well.
Oh, yeah, the animation is so good in this movie.
I don't think there's anything that looked bad. There was some stuff where I was like, that would look better now, but I was like, also, no, because I want it to be more handmade like this, not,
Yeah. I think trying to do Christopher Lloyd's eyes and other things, I think that looked a little weird.
That was a bit bad.
I didn't say it was bad. I just think it was weird because they had to blend cartoon with people, which looked weird.
I think it was all his stuff was good aside from the eyes, which I would say were bad.
Yeah, the eyes looked really freaky, which is somewhat annoying because that was one of the particular points of the movie was he had these specific eyes.
Yeah.
It was like there were crates full of fake eyes lying around and his eyes pop out. It's a storyline point that he has these eyes, and the eyes did look a little green screened.
Yes, definitely.
But
it was still good.
It's a minor critique.
The fact that this looks better than... There was a new recent Doctor Who episode where they go up against Alan Cumming, who's an animation come to life. He comes out of the TV, and he's like,
oh, really?
I'm a little animated man. It's a pretty good episode. The fact that that's looked worse than this, again, just goes to show you this is very, very well done. The cartoons interacting with people. There's one scene, I think it's Jessica Rabbit's first scene, where she's on the stage and you can, like, her dress is kind of sheer, and there's one point where, like, she's walking, you can see through her dress. You can see the humans on the other side. How do they do that? Because it still looks animated. It's incredible.
Yeah,
incredible stuff.
It just goes to show that, like, even as technology progresses, it's how much effort you put into it, not the technology you have at the time, which can make a good film.
Exactly. No, it's good. It's good stuff. Okay, so there's the world of the Toons. It's basically the back in action, I'd say, more so than Space Jam, where they're they're actors, but they're also themselves, but they're also actors, and they have a contract with the company they work for, and there's a big studio, and they all make the movies on the studio and stuff.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Who was your favorite character?
Whoa, what do you mean? Like animated character?
Either or, I would say. Because this is a film that's specifically a blend of the two. Which one did you like the most?
I mean, I liked... I think I liked... I mean, I don't know. I like the main character.
Yeah. Bob Hopkins is really good in this.
I love the part where... Because he hates Toons. And I was like,
yes.
This is so funny. I laughed so hard when he reveals why he hates Toons. He was like,
yeah,
a Toon killed my brother. And I just started laughing. I was like, they did it. They did the joke.
It's really good. I really liked when he's first on screen, when he pan to him, he swigs a drink and says, fucking Toons, you know? Toons is my new favorite swear word. It's my new favorite slur, you know?
Yeah.
It felt so, it's like he used the hard O's, you know what I mean?
He's very good. He's so funny in this as well.
Yeah.
He delivers everything so straight. It's so good.
Yeah. And even with my dislike of, like, you know, harming comedy or whatever, his, like, thing at the end where he has to, like, act like a cartoon character to make them laugh, I laughed at that because it was good. Like the setting up the joke and knocking them down. I started laughing. I was like, hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah,
I was having a good time. I did like the fight scene as well. That was excellent.
I think my favorite character was Baby Herman, because one, it's just the Boss Baby but done better. But also, I had a theory watching the movie when, like, with Judge Doom, like Christopher Lloyd's character at the end, where, like, he starts to get a bit, like, squashed and you're like, oh my god, he's a cartoon. I thought it was Baby Herman. I was like, Baby Herman's in a human contraption.
Oh, yeah, Baby Herman was very fun. I liked it.
Because he, like, doesn't come back. He's at the start, and then he's got one scene where he, like, tells Bob Hoskins, like, hey, Roger Rabbit didn't do it, and then he didn't come back. I was like, oh, but what if he's the bad guy? That's so funny.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
It was a bit sexist for my taste. You know,
it's the joke.
Sandro, he's been cancelled since then, you know.
Yes.
For harassment in the workplace, unfortunately.
I loved that part where he's in a stroller and there's this woman, like, giving him a cigarette, and Bob Hoskins is like, what the fuck, no, and, like, runs up and
yeah, what the fuck, why are you giving your baby a cigarette?
It's so funny. There's so much smoking in this movie, by the way. Like, this is
yeah.
one of the most...
This is a pro-smoking movie. That's
you could not make this now. Like, they would not let you put this much smoking in a kid's movie.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Because half of them are Toons, so, like, smoking... Probably, I wonder, are Toons affected by what people believe?
Oh, no, it seems like they're pretty, like, hard, light copies. I don't think they're, like, gods. I don't think they're affected by that.
But, like, at the time, people believed that smoking was good for you.
That's true.
Or at least at a time, right? And so would their belief that smoking is good mean that when a toon smoked, it would be like its health would improve.
I mean, maybe if they're like programmed to get better the more they smoke, maybe, yeah.
Right, yeah. But I don't think it matters because it's shown like that toons are practically nigh on unkillable. They are immortal, aside from Dip. So I think it's a moot point.
Also, do they feel pain? I don't know. I think they kind of do.
I think they do. I think they actually just do feel pain. But because they're immortal beings, they don't care about it as much. Like, they build up more of a resistance to it because they could be hit by a piano and live.
Yeah.
And so once you've been hit by a piano once, a lot of smaller things aren't going to feel as painful, you know?
That's true. I find it interesting as well, though, that Roger Rabbit is, like, he is who he is in real life. Like, quote-unquote real life, and when he's acting, whereas the other actors, like Baby Herman, is not as well. I'm like, okay, but who's really like that? Who acts like that? Is Bugs Bunny really, like...
Yeah.
That's a bad example. Is Daffy Duck really intelligent, actually? And he's like, why, yes, I'm the actor who plays Daffy Duck, it's me.
Yeah.
Daffy Duckanald.
That's really easy to explain. Daffy Duckanall. That's really easy to explain because it's quite clear to me that Roger was a method actor, obviously.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. For sure.
And really passionate about his craft, you know, because he goes and watches in theater, he sees Goofy go and he's like, what a fucking genius, dude.
Yeah.
What a legend, you know?
It's interesting because, like, he has moments where he's like, I act like this because I need people to laugh because no one laughs anymore. And I was like, oh my god, Roger Rabbit, you're so based. Look at this based man over here.
He's jaded, you know?
Exactly. But then he's just an idiot as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's in him. It's in his blood, you know?
It's interesting because it's like, he's very annoying. He's incredibly annoying. And it's so interesting that he's like the second main character because I feel like...
I would say incredibly annoying. He's pretty annoying.
He's pretty annoying. And that's the point, is that he's annoying, which makes him more and also less annoying, but I don't care because I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if this was a different movie, like if this was made, I don't know, 10 years after this and it's just Monkey Bone, I'd be like, fuck this fucking Roger Rabbit.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What an annoying asshole. I hate him.
Was there any fart jokes in this film?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so. I think we're not quite in the fart joke area of comedy yet.
But I'm just saying, like, Lion King had fart jokes. Like, you know, like...
That's true.
Fart jokes were around, and this film restrained itself. At no point... I think that's a hallmark of a movie that could make you laugh and enjoy a movie without having to resort to basic comedy, you know?
I mean, there's a lot of basic comedy in this. Is that a rabbit in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
No, that was a good educated joke, actually.
Like, the humor in this is very...
Well,
it's not, like, lowbrow, but it also is.
That one's funny, because I was going to tell you my favorite character, which was Dolores. Who was based, that one's funny because she literally sees the rabbit. Like, the rabbit pops it. Like, the rabbit's being shit at hiding. So she's like, she's already figured this out, you know? Dolores, you know, she doesn't let it off, but there's a lot going on in there. And she figures it out pretty quickly. It's like, hey, we have to hide this guy. I like how they have to hide him in the, like, Prohibition era, like, hooch hiding place, you know?
That was great. That was so funny.
That was a good bit.
Yeah.
But I also love Christopher Lloyd in this. Have to mention, obviously, he's really good.
From the start, I was like, something's up with how this guy looks. He looked a little animated, like, the whole time. And, like, there was one moment where they must have had a fan on him. Like, they must have shot him separately to the other actors and just blown a fan on him because his hair was, like, going in the wind, but no one else was. And I was like, what's going on here? This guy exists on a different plane. Turns out he literally did.
Like a 2D plane?
Hey.
Bum, bum, bum.
Anyway, I liked him. I liked, he's so evil.
Yeah. He was just a classic villain, but I love his presence on screen. It was very good.
Yeah.
I like him. What was the little bit he did to get Roger Rabbit out? He was like tapping on the walls.
Oh, yeah.
It's a joke that I didn't quite get, and I was going to ask you about it.
I don't know either. I think it's maybe it's a reference to some sort of cartoon or something. I'm not sure.
I think it's a reference to a song or something, and because Roger burst out singing.
Yeah. I liked that scene though. That was a fun scene.
It was great.
I think he's great. I liked him. I liked the Weasels. They were fun as well. The voice acting was good for them.
Yeah. It was a little silly how their weakness was just laughing and all that sort of thing. I liked the henchman laughing though bit. It was good.
Liked how he's always like, one day you're gonna laugh yourself to death, and you're like, okay, immediately we know how they're all gonna die.
Yeah. There was definitely some heavy foreshadowing as well.
But the plot of the movie is there's Mr. Acme. It's a great joke as well. You bring Acme in from all of the Warner Brothers stuff. Which I think is also similar to the Wile E. Coyote movie that got saved. They filmed a live-action Wile E. Coyote movie where he's he's suing Acme because they keep hurting him over and over again. So he's like, I'm gonna sue ya.
That's funny.
I forget who's in it. I know John Cena's in it. I'm fairly certain Will Forte is like his lawyer or something. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited to watch it.
They're actually releasing it?
They are actually, yeah. They actually are.
Oh, okay. Nice. Because I heard of that one, it was dead in the water.
It was, and then it was bought by like some independent company. Bought it for
nice.
for like a couple million, and so they're gonna release it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really happy that's actually gonna happen because this was great.
Yeah, that did sound fun.
But you've got the head of the Acme Corporation, who maybe he created the tunes. It's heavily implied that he did.
Yes. Well, that's which came first. You know, it's a real question of the tunes and the bees. You know, where did these tunes come from?
Yeah.
It must be they are created because they can be destroyed in an interesting way. I think they're possibly like a mad science experiment or something.
Yeah, okay. Maybe.
And it's like, you know, to bring these tunes to life so that they could be brought to cinema so you could make these films, you know, that sort of thing.
Are they slaves? Do they have a free will? Because they are drawn to be cartoons, to do the cartoons they're in. They're basically drawn and created from a writer's room. And then they're forced to live in their own area.
Yeah.
Away from all the humans. And then they're only, like, they just come out and do their bit. And then they go back to their weird toon land. Yeah.
But Sandro, that brings up another point. Are you a slave?
Oh my god, yes, I have a job.
Were you... Yeah. Were you born and created to do a thing, you know?
That's true.
Does free will exist, Sandro, or is everything defined?
We are all Sims.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's what I think, right? I think they are just as slaves as we are, you know?
Yeah. You know
because they have the free will to go and do other things. There is some weird segregation tones in this film, you know?
Definitely, yeah. I think because this is based off a book which is called Who Censored Roger Rabbit. I think that that book looks a lot darker than this. So maybe they go into that in the book. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But there's Mr. Acme. Bob Hoskins is hired to take compromising photos of him and Jessica Rabbit
playing patty cake.
They're playing patty cake and making sex noises.
Bum.
Great joke. 10 out of 10 joke.
Yeah. You know, classic. They're playing patty cake, but they're actually playing patty cake.
Yes. And then he dies, and Roger Rabbit's framed for it because he's the jealous husband.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, like, the director had to be on it, and the, like, producer guy had to be on it, because the director's, like, specifically getting mad at him over, like, oh, it was birds going around your head instead of stars.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, I thought, man, that's like a weird, distinct, like, that's very specific. Like, does that really matter? Like, And obviously, if they weren't specifically against him, I don't think it would have mattered. They would have been just as happy. But they're deliberately trying to sabotage him so he looks like he's more mad, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like they're setting him up.
They're framing him, if you will.
Yeah. Wait, who framed him?
Everyone.
Who framed Roger Rabbit? Oh,
Everyone
did. Yeah. I did like the sleazy director dude. The sleazy...
Wait, the head of the cartoons or just the director?
Yeah, the head of the cartoons.
That was R.K. Maroon was the character's name, yeah. I feel like we've seen him in stuff before.
Yeah. Alan Tilvern. He was really good.
Yeah, that's his name. I'm trying to see if we've watched... He's in Shop of Horrors, not as a main character, though. But, yeah. No,
we need to watch more of his stuff, because I really like... His little, grin as the guy left doing his business. He's like, I was like, ooh, that's a good one. I like that one.
He's good. But Acme had a will. It's the will for Toontown, which everyone knew was to leave it to the Toons, so they control the town. But Christopher Lloyd's company wants it and wants to make a freeway and kill all of them. So, they've got to find where the will is. And there's a point at the start where they introduce invisible ink. I think he sprays it on Bob's vest or something. And so I was like, that's where it is.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay.
This is another, This is another mystery that I didn't, look into. But yeah, that's a fair call because it's very. This has some telegraphs, And if I thought about it, I could have picked it up.
I think though all noirs do though. They're all kind of like this.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing because it's a detective story, right? And so you must. The good ones, at least, you have to have a mystery and you have to have tells, you have to have clues, so that when the ending comes together, it feels like there was a mystery and it was solved and it was good. Because if you don't have that, the audience is going to be like, what the fuck, this is a piece of shit, So in that aspect, I thought they did really well because I wasn't really looking at it as a noir film. I was just looking at it like base value, it's a funny film with cartoons and people and that sort of thing. But it is in itself just a noir film. Yeah,
it really is. But anyway, that's kind of the plot. And I liked the mystery. I thought it was a fun time. Kind of jump around and do a bunch of different things. And obviously they make Jessica Rabbit seem like she's evil.
Yeah, they set her up because she's the female lead, sort of, one of the two, because you've got the dame, and the one you actually want to marry in the end,
Yes.
You've got the sexy lady coming in of please help me, and then sometimes she's the killer.
Sometimes.
But most often not.
Yeah.
But sometimes she's the killer. Because I feel like that was a trope, because there was one that had the dame as the killer. And so then for a while there was this whole meta, right? Of you have the dame and it's they try and be is she the killer? And then it's haha, no, she wasn't. You thought she might have been,
Yeah.
But then there was an anti-meta, of actually she was the killer or at least helped the killer. And then there's another thing. So I think we were getting to the equilibrium here of it was kind of a 50-50 is she evil or not,
Exactly.
And that's an interesting thing about the noir meta, I would say,
Yeah. And it's so weird though, because I'm because the start of the movie when he's taking photos of Jessica Rabbit and Mr. Acme, it's okay, so she's been she's in a pretty bad situation here is the vibes, because she's I don't want to do anything, and he's I own you, freaking heck, you bloody patty cake time. And it's okay, so she's also a victim here of Acme being a weird old man, but then he's good. So what was the vibes at the start, or was that just
I think he was just spit. I think they told her to come on to him.
Oh, maybe.
And so he thought it was fine. But yes, he was playing patty cake with someone else's wife. So look,
yes,
I don't think he is above the law here. I think he definitely has his own issues.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think he was also set up, obviously.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. And that's good. This movie's so violent as well. I'm just, like, thinking about it. I'm like, this movie is very, not, like, scary. Like, well, maybe it would be scary for kids. I don't know anymore. It's pretty tense, though. There's, like, scenes where cartoon shoes are being killed right in front of you. The whole action scene at the end with Judge Doom, he gets, like, flattened and you watch all of it. Like, with, like, a steamroller.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up as well. I definitely think the shoe scene was, like, I was not expecting them to just, like, kill someone on screen. I was like...
Yeah.
The film's like, haha, it's a shoe, it gets melted,
yeah,
whatever, you know. But, like, if you think about it, that shoe was sentient. It was just as sentient as every other cartoon. We literally, on screen, watched a sentient being... die.
Yep.
Physically melt. That's fucked up. That's some horror shit right there,
exactly.
You know?
For sure. I agree.
That was a fucked up shit. I was not expecting them to show. I was expecting them to do like a halfway boils and then it cuts to the characters reacting to like going, you know, because they watch someone die. Also, he does that in front of the police.
He does do it in front of the police.
To a shoe.
Yeah.
That is, like, innocent. It's done no crimes. He had no, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings me back to the, like, second-class thing of Toons. Like, that was some fucked up shit. All I'm saying there. It's like, if that was him murdering a person, they would have stepped in, right?
Yeah.
Because he's murdering a Toon, they like, we don't care.
That's right. No, it's so interesting. I'm thinking as well, I'm like, if they did this nowadays, they wouldn't do that. But then I'm like, no, the way they'd make this nowadays is they make it the Happy Time Murder. This is what they do.
Yeah. They'd make it overly horrific.
Yeah, just cum everywhere. Fuck, that movie was shit. What a terrible movie. Anyway.
I want to make that movie, but without the sex themes, but the murder. I want a, like, violent puppet murder is quite funny, I think.
It was very funny how there was just stuffing everywhere and everyone's acting like it's really horrific.
It's really fucked up, right? Like, I want the scene, but it's like a Muppet getting murdered via blender.
Yeah.
And it's just a full scene of you watching this puppet going, as he's being blended. And, like...
Yeah.
Out of context, it's just like a felt puppet getting blended. But in context, it's like like this is horrific. You're watching a person getting murdered, you know?
I feel like that movie's a really good comparison to this because it's also trying to be a noir. It just doesn't work, though. That movie doesn't work because it's trying to be way too crude.
Yeah, it pushes everything to the extreme and it doesn't help it.
It doesn't make it funny, but this movie does a lot of good restraints. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention with Roger Rabbit. I feel like we've kind of touched on everything.
I think the problem with it is it's trying to go for the shock factor funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rather than the nuance angles. It just threw nuance out of the window, whereas this one walks the fine tight rope.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I've got one quick criticism of Roger Rabbit to mention. I don't have much else to say on this movie, I don't think. One quick criticism, though. Why did you reference Song of the South movie? That was a weird choice. That was a weird one.
Well, again, it brings me back to the racism point. This movie's all about racism, how the tunes are being treated badly, you know? This film is, like, secretly... It never touches on it, I think.
It doesn't.
It, like, literally never touches on it.
No.
But film is, like, just a big racist allegory, you know?
It is, for sure.
And it's really interesting that they have all this. But is it, like, internalized racism, Sandro? Is it racist just because everyone was racist at the time, Sandro?
Man, it was the 40s. They don't hide the fact that it's the 40s at all. They go full 40s, so maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Like, there's a bit there, I had a few things I wanted to bring up, like, the final fight scene was really good.
Excellent. Yeah.
That scene is unfortunately stolen from a movie.
Oh, yeah. Which movie is it?
Cats and Dogs, actually. Because in the end fight scene with cats and dogs, they're in a Christmas tree factory where they have a giant cannon that shoots fake snow everywhere. And it's in a warehouse.
Man, I watched that like 3 years ago with you, and I don't remember anything about it.
That's because you didn't own it on DVD and watch it religiously. I think I owned that on VHS,
bro.
bro.
You did.
that was. Oh, I love that movie. So yeah, that was stolen. Yeah, I liked his having to use slapstick comedy to win.
I liked that. I really enjoyed like how Christopher Lloyd just uses like cartoon weapons as well. That was great.
That was my next note. It was actually that he pulls out the cartoon gun.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck is the ethics of that thing though? Like Bob Hoskins' cartoon gun? Is that a gun that can only kill cartoons? Is that what it is? I don't know.
I think it's just a gun that is made of cartoons, so it's more powerful than a regular gun because you could use it on cartoons, but you could also probably kill people with. Also, has he killed people with it, with his bullet friends? Are they murders? Are they liable for manslaughter? Is the Native American one racist?
Oh, yes. Yes,
obviously.
Very much so.
And it's for one scene, and I'm like, that's a bit of racism. I'm just saying, there's a lot of racism flying around.
Well, I mean, look, as someone who owns a lot of, like, original merry melodies, as the Looney Tunes used to be called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all pretty fucking racist. They're pretty fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Just, there's just a lot. There's a lot of racism in those cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
But is it deliberate? Obviously, that scene was probably not. That was probably just a joke. But
yeah.
And hasn't aged well.
I feel like those cartoon bullets, you can't retrieve them, though. I feel like you shoot them and then they're gone.
No, I think specifically, because they know him, right? They're friends with him.
But are they just friends because they've been hanging around inside the gun case for
No.
years?
I think specifically, because this is the gun he used to use, I think, right? I think that specifically they are friends, and the benefit of the gun is that you can retrieve the bullets.
Okay.
That's one of the benefits of the gun, is that you can be like, hey, boys, come on, come back, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I see it.
But we don't really know because he uses it, like, twice. He uses it once when he shoots the alcohol bottle, which he ditches, you know?
That's funny.
And then he shoots at one bad guy and they fail to follow him. They don't see where he goes and just fuck up.
Yep.
And then he throws away the gun. And I was so annoyed when he did that because I wanted to see if they would come back just as well.
Yeah.
But he, like, throws it away. So it's like, oh, whatever.
What else happens? Oh, yeah, Christopher Lloyd. He melts. I'm melting. That was funny.
Yeah, he does the melt.
Oh, I love the joke where Jessica Rabbit grabs, like, a trap out of her bra, and it's, they're like, booby trap.
Oh, yeah, no, because
the
one of the weasels or whatever they are tries to molest her, and it's haha, there was a trap, and it was a booby trap.
That was pretty funny.
That was a funny one. Yeah, I really liked Dolores. I liked her scenes. I liked the relationship she has with the main character. I liked the tram line things. It's like LA has the best public transport in the world. You know?
Why did they get rid of it? They had trams and they got rid of them. Stupid fucking LA.
They're probably going to come back. Public transport's coming back around the world. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
People are starting to realize people are opening up.
Yeah. I liked the cab. That was fun. The chase scene with the cab was great because you have like a human in a cartoon car going up against cartoons in a human car. For that chase scene was fantastic. And my final, I've written it down here. This is my final note. Bugs Bunny is the real villain of the story, actually. Because, hear me out, Sandro, because we're all, you know, tied up with the villain of the story, how he's going to kill all these people, blah, 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 blah. But we see a man flying out of a 100-story building, right? Yeah.
And Bugs Bunny was really just willing to give him a fake tire and let this man plummet to his fucking death.
Yeah, it's Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, that was fucked up. That's on the level of the bad guy's killing, right? The bad guy pushed a piano onto the other guy. That's just a classic cartoon death. He's having a classic cartoon death. I'm just saying the spare was very funny, by the way. That was a great joke. I laughed at that joke. But also, Bugs Bunny, he is a bit of that was a villain move. I was like, holy shit, they're just going to kill this guy.
It isn't just him, it's also Tweety Bird. He shows up and is like, "Oh, hey, it's you," and he's like, "Yeah, it's my friend," and then Tweety Bird continues to make him fall off the fucking pole. I feel like because Bob Hoskins is in Cartoon Land, it follows the law of Cartoon Land, so I don't think he would have died.
It does a bit. I still think he might have had horrible injuries.
Maybe.
But you do bring up a point, and I think there is a possibility that he would have been fine. I mean, he is fine, obviously, we see by the end. But like Mickey's also there and is an accomplice to murder in that situation.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mickey's a stinker. So I think Mickey must have known that he would have been fine.
Maybe.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have allowed Bugs. And I think Bugs must have also known.
Yeah.
But Bugs, I was like, what the? Wait.
What are you doing?
I had an epiphany. I was like, wait, they're just letting this guy die. That's fucked up.
Oh, dear me. It's true.
So there you go. I think that's everything I had to say about this movie.
Well, then let's talk about what was going to happen with the next movie that they were going to make. They were going to do more of these, because obviously this made a bunch of money.
Oh.
I think this was the second highest grossing movie of the year that it came out, so it was going to do...
1988.
Yeah, real well. They were going to do a prequel set in World War II called Roger Rabbit, The Toon Patrol, where they go into Nazi-occupied Germany and try and, like, save someone or something. I'm not sure.
Whoa.
J.J. Abrams wrote the script. It must have been a pretty early thing for him as well. Didn't happen because, of course it didn't. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
I would watch that. I think, you would also watch that. I think a lot of
for sure.
people who are fans of this movie would watch that, but you can't sell that movie. How the fuck are you going to get that sold?
Yeah. That's wild.
And also Spielberg, he was like, because he was making Schindler's List at the time, and he was a producer on this. I think he was like, I'm not producing this one because I can't make fun of that. I don't want to make a weird Nazi satire movie. So
yeah.
So he left. And then it's just kind of been floating around since then. I think they've been like talking about it on and off. They're like, maybe we'll do another one.
I could see much like a Space Jam 2 coming out. Yeah, because especially with Disney at the moment, where they're hell-bent on doing live actions right now.
Yeah.
This is almost the perfect time for them to be like, let's do a Roger Rabbit live action, Which could be interesting, but probably would be terrible.
Yeah, it could be.
And they just do a Space Jam 2 sort of thing, and it's like way worse, and everybody hates it.
Yeah. It seems like there's maybe a sequel script floating around. It's set in the 50s. Robert Zemeckis has confirmed that exists. But yeah, I don't think that it's ever going to get made. Obviously, Bob Hoskins has died now as well. So that's not going to be. And yeah, did Space Jam 2 even make a profit? I don't think people care.
I don't know. I did watch that one.
Yeah, we reviewed it. We did it on Patreon, but I think we watched it at home.
Yeah.
Oh, it did not make a profit. No, it absolutely did not.
Yeah. I didn't think so. That was a rough one.
Yeah. And like, while I'm glad that Coyote versus Acme is going to be released, that's also not going to make a profit because people don't go to see these things. So yeah.
That's more of a problem with the entire film industry shooting themselves in the foot.
Yes, exactly.
With streaming services, but
Anyway, I don't think I want another one. Leave it at this. Just make this.
Oh yeah. I don't think I want them to remake it into a live action mess, but they're gonna, Sandro. I'm telling you now. Let me put it on the books right now. Let me call it so that in a year and a half time, when they announce Roger Rabbit 2, or Roger Rabbit the prequel, sequel, whatever they come out with, that I was here and said it right here and now.
Well, you know what? There is a better version that you can go watch right now. Speaking of streaming services on Disney Plus, watch Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which is basically just Roger Rabbit, but with Chip and Dale. It's made by the Lonely Island, so it's a good one. it's just like one of them has gone 3D, the other one is still like 2D, and they're trying to find a murder in like the weird like human world or whatever. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'll say the reason they'll get to Roger Rabbit is because they'll run out of other things to do. And they'll be reaching around and being like, oh, maybe we do this.
Yeah.
The only problem I see with it is the copyrights, but don't Disney own everything now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
They
right?
don't own Looney Tunes, but also Warner Brothers don't want to own Looney Tunes anymore. So
it maybe the reality is like as soon as Disney buys it, then you have like a year down the line, that's when it comes out, right?
Can happen.
When they make the connections of like, hey, we own all of these, so we can just do it.
But they're going to pump it through of like fucking Marvel characters now, though.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool's going to come up and be like, look at my balls. And I'll be like, shut up.
Who's going to pop in there? Don't forget Star Wars. You got to put that reference in, you know.
I don't.
Disney owns all the Star Wars. Jar Jar's going to show up. Ooh. What if Deadpool kills Jar Jar right there?
This is not a Roger Rabbit movie anymore. I would watch Deadpool killing Jar. I would watch that. Granted, I would watch that.
Yeah.
But it takes away from the point.
No. They're just going to marvel it up, and it's just going to be reference city,
Oh,
you know?
God. I mean, that's what this was, but also...
And it's going to be quips everywhere, you know?
I don't want that.
Chris Pratt is going to appear like 20 times as different characters.
That's funny, though. If he shows up as Mario and Garfield, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Hell yeah.
They bump into each other, and it's like, why does an orange tabby cat and an Italian man sound exactly the same?
Yeah.
That would be a funny joke.
That's right.
Did you know that foreign investors are quietly funding lawsuits in American courts through a practice called third-party litigation funding? Shadowy overseas funders are paying to sue American companies in our courts, and they don't pay a dime in U.S. taxes if there is an award or settlement. They profit tax-free from our legal system, while U.S. companies are tied up in court, and American families pay the price, to the tune of $5,000 a year. But there is a solution. A new proposal before Congress would close this loophole and ensure these foreign investors pay taxes, just like the actual plaintiffs have to. It's a common sense move that discourages frivolous and abusive lawsuits and redirects resources back into American jobs, innovation, and growth. Only President Trump and congressional Republicans can deliver this win for America and hold these foreign investors accountable. Contact your lawmakers today and demand they take a stand to end foreign-funded litigation abuse.
Alrighty then, it's time for rabbiting reviews.
Ribbit. That's a frog. Fuck.
You've already, and that's not a point for you, Sandra. You lose a point there. Yeah, this is the part of the show where I go to rabbit tomatoes, and I get the reviews for the movie, but of course not the reviews from the critics, who, as we all know nothing. They're all corporate shills.
Yes.
No, I get them from the audience.
Oh.
For some reason, we're quite positive on this one.
Well, not as positive as the critics. 96% from critics, 85% from the audience, which means that, I mean, I guess you don't think it's better than a Goodie then, if you agree with the audience.
No, I still put 80 is better than a Goodie.
Okay.
That's still fresh. I say fresh is better than a Goodie. And look. The only reason is because this one's too popular, Sandro. So people troll, you know? People have a bit of trolling.
That's true. People do that.
Once something is too good, it does lose a few points because of trolls. But anybody who's speaking the truth is going to be in the audience. That's the main thing. And don't worry, I've only got the truth speakers this week. Only truth spitters. I'm going to spit you with the facts. They're going to tell you a review, and you have to guess what they've rated it from 0.5 to 5.
All right.
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Oh, yeah, let's go.
All right. The first review today is from Letica, who says, "Oh my gosh, why is there no Smurfs? Sad emoji."
That's true. No Smurfs, no Peanuts, no a bunch of others.
But, oh, wow, this movie is better.
Better than what?
I don't know, Sandra.
Why is there no Smurfs, but it's better than the Smurf movie? I haven't seen it, but I would agree with that.
I don't think she's referencing the movie, but potentially, yeah.
So weird. That's true. There's not that many, cartoons from what I guess is set in the 40s, so they wouldn't have existed yet.
There's no Asterix Obelix, you know?
No, they wouldn't have existed either, though, if it's the 40s.
There's no Garfield.
Oh, he might have existed. I don't know when he was created.
I don't think Garfield was around back then.
No, I think it's more of a 60s thing. Anyway, 4 out of 5.
Ooh, that's actually 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
it was
that's
better.
Well, how about
she
that?
said it was better, you know?
All
right. Christian says, this movie is awesome. It's better than Rain Man because Who Framed Roger Rabbit won the award for the 1988 films.
Rain Man was the highest grossing movie of that year, so I think that's what that's a reference to. It's got to be pretty positive.
Yep.
I'll go 4.5.
That's 5 out of 5, actually,
5
for
out
this
of 5.
one. Yep.
I keep thinking, because they don't end in, massive screaming, so I don't
Yeah.
go to say 5 out of 5, because I'm so used to the regular Rotten Tomatoes.
the screeching, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll figure Platty the Peripuss.
Oh, God,
and
that's
their
you.
review.
It's you.
Watching the shoe get dipped was scary, but oddly hilarious.
Oh, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's not you, but I'm going to say that that was probably a 5 out of 5 review, because I think you put 3 in a row because it's funny.
It is funny. 5 out of 5. It's
right,
very
cool.
funny.
Right. I get one in there. Excellent.
But what do you think of Kelly's review, who says, lying bunny, silly loony bunnies?
The fuck did you just say to me?
I
Lying
said,
bunny.
Lying bunny, silly loony bunnies.
The fuck? That's gotta be a 5 out of 5 as well, right? Surely, because
that was 1.5, baby! Hit him with the 1.5!
What the? Can you read that one more time? Say it one more time.
Woo! Kelly says, lying bunny, silly loony bunnies. Because Bugs is a lying bunny, and then there's silly loony bunnies, because there's Roger and Bugs. There's multiple bunnies.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
I think what you didn't understand there is Kelly agrees with me that Bugs Bunny is a lying sociopath and deserves to go behind bars. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then finally, the last one is by Kathy, who says, once again, capitalism is the root of all evil.
That's true. Yeah, it's very, very true. That's going to be a 5 out of 5 review.
That's a 5 out of 5, baby.
Right,
5 out of 5.
Yours has got to be Platty, the Perry Puss, because that's your point. Or maybe you stole it from the review, but in this occasion, I'm going to say that's yours.
Nope. I didn't steal that one. I just thought it was also fucked up, and I agreed with them. So, Patty the Perry Puss, fuck me, I've got the hiccups. Was not my review. I laughed too hard at lying bunny, silly loony bunnies. It has broken me. That's possibly the best review we've ever gotten.
Best one.
Fuck
and
me.
you wrote it. No,
I did not. I wrote actually that once again capitalism is the root of all evil.
That's true.
Ha ha ha! Capitalism bad, actually.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Well, there we go. With the end of the episode. You can recover from hiccups while I do plugs and say, hey, go. But leave in all of Zach's breathing. All of the heavy breathing, Saki. You can leave that in. Oh my god. Darth Vader over here.
No, it brought the hiccups back. Damn it.
Darth Vader wouldn't stand for that. I cut that. Anyway, Patreon is a thing.
No. I'm trying not to laugh because I'm trying to get rid of the hiccups. It was a great pun joke. It was great. It was fuck.
If you like the show, thanks for listening. A way to help out is to review us on the Spotify. There's Apple Podcasts. I think Google Podcasts is dead, but we're on YouTube, so that's good. Comment there if you want. Subscribe. Yeah, just everything. All links in the episode description. You can also go to patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod, which is very important because right now we're going to be talking about what movie we're doing next. And who votes on that? Why? It's our patrons who are currently voting on the movies we do here on the show. They make the decisions. They picked this movie. They're going to pick the next movie. It's going to be great, fun time. Go there. You don't have to subscribe. You get it for free. So just go there and vote for free. But you also get bonus episodes. X-Men Origins Wolverine. We're doing all the X-Men movies over there. That's a fun one. K-Drama starts very, very soon. Very excited for that.
Ooh, and you don't want to miss out on K-Drama.
No, go get the rest of the K-Drama as well. Go get them all. Get them, Pokemon or something. I don't know.
Gotta cage them all. Which is also applicative to Pokemon, really.
Yeah.
But Sandro, here's the thing. You may know the movie options.
I do. I know them.
But do you know the connections?
Oh, I don't, because that's the game.
Yes, it's time for you to guess the connections. AKA, match those connections.
It's got two names. It's got two names. Before we get into that, you got to quickly say what the movies that you picked were. And they're all connected to this movie, and I got to find out how they're connected.
I'll go down the list, you connect them, and then we'll tell everybody what we're doing next week. So.
Yeah.
The movies we gave to the Patreons this week was The Godfather Part 2. Which I, of course, had to put there because, we got to do it at some point. And if Sandro's not going to pick it, then maybe I could convince the Patreons to,
Maybe you did. We'll find out at the end.
We had Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, Taika Waititi. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Fun little comedy sort of thing, makes sense. Watership Down.
Oh, that's sad.
Yes, very. But also an animated movie for kind of like for adults, if you think about it.
That's true.
Yeah. And Starship Trooper.
Oh, Starship Troopers.
Yeah. And I have a connection to all of these. I'm going to now tell you the connections, but not tell you which one they're connected to.
Oh.
And you have to guess.
All right.
And your connections for today, sir,
are
racism.
Oh, no.
Which I have talked about a lot today.
Okay.
Because I believe there was racism in this movie.
Yeah. You think it was there for sure? All right.
Murder.
Oh, my goodness. That's
I would say is in this
huge
movie.
One. That's a huge connection to take because we obviously can't do them ever again. So that's wild.
Horrific violence.
Oh, my God.
And it was so funny to me, Sandra, earlier that you mentioned that this film was oddly dark,
It was.
It was. And oh, Sandra, I noticed.
And
of course, the last one was rabbits.
Yeah, I knew rabbits would be a connection. I had
to do it to you.
That's right.
Of course.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So your connections: racism, murder, horrific violence, and rabbits.
Okay, so straight off the bat, horrific violence has to be Starship Troopers just because of that movie's general vibe and tone. Although it could be racism, though, actually.
It could be, actually. Yeah. It's almost like I thought about it, Sandro. Yes.
I feel like I don't remember Watership Down having racism in it. I don't remember. That's definitely...
Oh, you haven't read the books recently, You haven't perused the Watership Down. To be fair, those are pretty traumatic, little books.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't watched the movie. I think I've watched a TV show version of it. I don't think I've read it, though, so I don't know. Okay, but the connection of rabbits is very obviously going to be Watership Down. Surely.
Obviously. Surely.
I don't remember why Jojo Rabbit is called Jojo Rabbit.
I believe it's the main character's just named that.
He's named Jojo. Maybe it's like a nickname that he's also called Rabbit or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I actually haven't seen it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Which is why I put it as an option because I actually haven't seen it and I would like to see it. But yeah, I think it's the main character's name or nickname, as you say. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it must be a nickname. I think. Yeah. I'm gonna say horrific violence for Starship Troopers.
Okay.
I'm gonna say is it racism for Jojo Rabbit? It would be, right? Because it's World War II.
Who can say?
And they did a genocide. So, like, it could be.
That would be a thing for me to put in there.
So I'm going to say race. This is a terrible connection. Racism for Jojo Rabbit. I'll say rabbits for Watership Down, and then I'll go murder for Godfather Part 2, because I'm sure there's murders in that.
Yeah. Me too, Sandro, because...
All right.
I will now tell you. The Godfather Part 2, the connection was murder.
All right. Yep, nice.
So you were correct on that one.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Sandro,
Oh, no.
Jojo Rabbit's connection was rabbits.
Ah!
Because it has the name Rabbit in the title.
Very
And
funny.
Roger Rabbit has Rabbit in the title. So there are rabbits about. It was a title
I like
thing.
it.
Yeah,
The
look.
connection was not there are rabbits. The connection was the word rabbit.
The word rabbit.
What a
Yes.
what a bamboozle.
What a bamboozlement that you probably saw a mile away. Because it's funny.
That is funny.
Which, of course, means that what you're left with for Watership Down is either racism or horrific violence.
Well, okay, so I mean, I've locked in my answers, but I'm going to swap them around then. I think that Starship Troopers is racism because that's kind of the whole point of the movie.
So Watership Down is horrific violence.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
cool. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Because I was traumatized as a child, so you should all be as well.
For sure.
And as you say, Starship Trooper was in fact racism.
Why is that your connection? What in Starship Troopers?
Because I wanted you to think it was horrific violence, because obviously that one's horrifically violent, but they are very racist towards the bugs.
That's true.
That is the main point in that is attacking the bugs, and the bugs aren't necessarily evil.
Right. All right. Well, there we go.
This goes actually back to the more modern connection that a lot of people have now is Helldivers. And in that one, some of the lore in that one implies that the bugs aren't naturally that violent. It's just the government has antagonized them to be so, in a way.
Well, those were the options. Those were the connections. Zach, what is the people picked? What have they picked? What have they picked? This was a fucking, everyone voted basically for one movie.
Oh, absolutely. This was a very landslide of a pick. And I'm very glad they picked it, because I wanted to see this one. I have seen this one before, but not for ages. Not since I was very young.
Too young, then, probably.
Yes, probably. But, it was fun. And they have picked Starship Troopers.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Very
With
fun.
the connection of racism. Now, I'll say it's more of a hatred of another species racism,
That is what it is, though.
Yeah.
I think we can
Which is
call it that.
racism. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
for
say it's racism. It's not the conventional racism
No.
that you see. It's like blinding racism of just the only good bug is a dead bug, right?
Exactly. And I think, cartoons are, they are essentially a race. I feel like the bugs also. So,
I think racism in Jojo Rabbit is very plain and obvious. That racism is
yes.
there. I think it'll be interesting because I can't remember. We'll go into Starship Troopers and see how tight that connection was, or if it was a little loose.
Well, I mean, I feel like doing broad connections like this are always going to be a bit loose.
Yes, but I also thought racism was a fun one to put in here because you'd be like, which? I felt all of my connections here were very, very tricky to figure out which one. Murder was originally for Watership Down, by the way.
That makes sense, actually. But I like horrific violence. It's good.
Yes. I thought I was going to spice that one up a bit. I was fiddling with these ones to get it to a nice ratio.
Now, we should say as well, the poll's already done, so if you're listening to this, you wouldn't have been able to vote on it yet. But for the polls that we have done so far, they've been the gimmies that the audience has gotten, not the actual movies. They just get the gimmies. But I think for the next one, you're just going to give the connections to the audience, right?
Yes. So this time, I'm not going to tell Sandro the movies. I'm just going to give him the connections. And therefore, he's not going to be able to use his biased privileged powers to influence everybody into picking the movie that he wants to watch.
I don't influence oh, wait, yeah, no, you're right. I did put Rebel Wilson down as the actor for Jojo Rabbit.
Which is absolutely some biasism going in there, I feel, you know.
To be fair, the actor I put down for Starship Troopers was Clancy Brown from SpongeBob SquarePants and the game Detroit Become Human.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's in the movie for, I think, maybe 2 seconds. So I don't know.
That's it. So Sandra can't influence this one this time. It's all up to you guys.
That's right, and it's already been decided, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it is next week on the podcast. And thank you for listening. And also, Zach, I've got to tell you something.
Ooh, what's that, Sandra?
You may have thought over the last how many episodes we've done? 314 episodes, and not including Patreon. It's so many, fuck. That you've just been doing a podcast.
Yeah, I guess I've thought that. I was going to say I haven't had much thoughts during all of those episodes, but that would be one of them. Yeah.
And I'm sure you remember that I used to edit the podcast as well.
You did like to do a bit of editing. I've never done any, and I feel like I should do some at some point, but I never will because I never commit to anything.
Well, Zach, I wasn't just editing. I was framing you.
Oh, no! What have you done?
I framed you for having bad movie opinions.
No! No, the entire internet's gonna know! Oh my God!
They're gonna know your greatest, darkest secret that you liked. The Garbage Pail Kids, actually.
No!
If you go back and listen to that episode, I've edited it so that you liked it.
Oh my God! I'm gonna go back and listen to it, and you're gonna take all the positive things I said about Jojo Rabbit today and implant them onto the Garbage Pail Kids, because that's a movie with like cartoon characters and real humans. Oh my God!
I framed you. You're framed.
So it's Who Framed Zach in the podcast. Well, It was Sandro. That's the spoiler. Yeah,
we figured it out.
Yeah,
I haven't done that though. That's the.
I'm going to arrest you.
Oh, well, I had it coming.